Hey, it's Chef with Barbecue Plus. We cooked up these restaurant quality pizzas on a pellet grill. We'll show you just how we did it. They were awesome, and you can do it too. Hey, it's Chef with Barbecue Plus. Today we're going to cook up a pizza. So we're going to do a couple of them, and we're actually going to use this little Green Mountain. This is a pellet grill, and I've got an insert here that I picked up, and it's got a pizza stone, a cover, all kinds of cool stuff in there. And what that's going to do is direct all the heat and funnel it up from the burn pot straight up into that pizza attachment, get that pizza stone nice and hot, and we're going to cook some great pizzas. So if you thought of one of these, you may want to consider. Take a look at the end of the video and see how it turns out. But many different pellet grill makers make a pizza oven insert. I think Traeger makes one. I know that Yoder does. Obviously Green Mountain does, and this little guy, plus they have them for their bigger grills as well. This one's pretty small. It's like 10 by 10. So we're going to make some small personal sized pizzas, not the big restaurant pizza that you might be able to in some of the others. Important thing to do is to read your manual, because there are some important things in here. One thing that I noted was that normally I have a thermal blanket, which is a covering that goes over top of the pellet grill, and you have to take that off because I think it just gets too hot. Pizza stone's generally about 600 degrees when you're cooking pizzas, so I think that thermal blanket would probably be destroyed or melted, or something bad would happen. Other things that you're going to need is a pizza peel to get that in and out. So one of the important things also that you're going to need is one of these guys. It is an infrared thermometer. So I can use this to take the temperature of that pizza stone. Gives me a readout on the back. I also use this for my Blackstone. So if you have a Blackstone, make sure you have one of these. If you're using a pizza stone in one of the pellet grills, you're going to want to make sure you have one of these also, so you can really hone in on that temperature. If that pizza stone isn't up to the temperature, you're just going to have kind of a gooey mess. The top may cook, bottom won't cook. It's not going to be good. So with that, what I am using today is we went to our local Trader Joe's, love that place, and we picked up just their plain pizza dough. I think this stuff is like $1.50 for a bag. It makes 2 decent sized personal pizzas. And then we cheated. Instead of using some fancy sauce, we just got the Trader Joe's pizza sauce. Spread that pizza sauce on. I think today we're gonna do some margarita pizzas. So that's basically just gonna be some basil, some mozzarella, some tomatoes with the tomato sauce also. I think we're putting a little bit of garlic in there to kind of kick up the flavor. And then we'll finish it with a little bit of olive oil just before we eat it. So pretty excited for this, and come along for the ride, and you can then make the decision if you want to invest in one of these for your grill. This one, in fact, I picked up for 40 bucks. I think they're normally like $100 more than that, or around $100. I don't know. I'll check and put it up over here and let you know what they actually cost new. And it's going to vary based on what your grill is and who your manufacturer. If you're using on a Yoder, they're pretty proud of their stuff. You're probably going to pay $250 for a pizza oven for that guy. We're going to try it on this little guy with some personal pizzas, and we'll let you know how they turn out. So I've got this thing set for 275 degrees. Let's go take a temperature on here. There's a quick check. We're running almost 600 degrees. So that's gonna be going well. I think we're gonna put them in. So we've got 2 beautiful looking pizzas here. Mrs. BBQ Plus put these together inside. We've got a margarita over here, pizza sauce on the bottom. We've got some mozzarella chunks in there. We've got some mozzarella slices in there. We've got tomato and some basil on there, a little bit of Italian seasoning. We're gonna finish it off with some olive oil after it comes out. This one over here is got mushroom, prosciutto, and some black olives on there with a little bit of mozzarella, shaved mozzarella sprinkled over the top. There's a bee that wants in on this good deal. So I've got a little bit of cornmeal here. We're gonna sprinkle that inside. We're also gonna make sure that we have a little bit of that here on our pizza peel, because again, we don't want anything to stick, because that just makes it all a mess. So let's go in and Okay, now is the important part. We don't want to take too much time to do this because we don't want to lose heat. Oops. We rescued that one. That was going to be a little bit of a disaster. That was going to slide right off the back end and it was not good. But since I did have a lot of that cornmeal down on that, it was easy to get back underneath there, pull it forward, and we saved the day. Plus my trusty black high heat glove. Make sure that whenever you touch anything inside there, you've got something to insulate because you don't want to get a bad burn from this. Doing well there. We're just going to give it a little bit more time and keep checking that thing. We're going to look on the underside when we see that kind of getting cooked up a little bit. We're going to look for that cheese to melt down a bit as well, and that's going to signal us that we're time to bring it out, cut it up, and dive in. I do want to keep it closed because you know what they say, if you're looking, you're not cooking. That is looking really good. We've only been in there for probably about 4 minutes or so. I did spin it all the way around to make sure that since it's a little bit hotter at the back, because that front is open, then we want to make sure and spin it all the way around so that it cooks very evenly. I think we are pretty close on this. That is looking good. I think we are just about there. Let's put that pizza peel underneath, take a little look. Yeah, we've got a little bit of time yet. Not seeing it too brown on the bottom. Got to tell you, we are pretty excited about this. Should have a little bit of a wood flavor to it since these are burning pellets and those are being directed right up into there to provide the heat. Plus it's kind of rolling around inside of there since that's where it vents it up through. So yeah, I think this would be good. Good kind of wood-fired taste as opposed to if you use something that's propane-based. I don't know if it tastes like propane, but you just don't get that wood-fired flavor of pizza that's just really good. So a couple of things, just some first impressions about the process of cooking. This was super simple. It was easy to set this up, to put the parts inside of there, fire it up and get it going. Make sure you've got some good dry pellets in there. That's always important. But as far as the setup on this, not difficult at all. As long as these pizzas don't stick when you're putting them onto the peel and putting them inside the pizza oven, that was super easy too. Being able to lift that lid off with my special little black glove made it pretty easy to be able to rotate that pizza to see where things are going and to get a good look at the top of it. Maybe a little bit of pain that I didn't have a fire rated shelf that was close by to set it on. Had to set it on the ground, which wasn't as convenient. Meant that I was opening the grill up and keeping it open a little bit more than I would want to, because then we're going to end up losing some heat out of there. But all in all, super simple to do. I think this is great. I'm going to do a lot more of these, but we got to taste them, because as long as it looks good, doesn't mean it tastes good. But we're going to find out. Starting to see some good bubbling on the top with that pizza, so I think that that's good. I think we're about ready to move that one out, swap the other one in, let it cool a little bit, and do a taste test on it. Nice bubbles on there. I think this guy is ready to come off. We are one down and one to go. That is a good looking pizza. Look at that, it's kind of heart-shaped. Love the pizza. So now we're just gonna cut into it. So we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil, just a little mister here. And there was some of this initially on, so we're just adding a little bit to finish it. And now we're gonna dive in and see what this tastes like. So done well underneath, that's good. Sometimes they get a little bit doughy if the pizza stone isn't up to temperature. Here's the moment of truth. The pizza crust is really, really good. The sauce, I think, is great. Everything about this, I would say, rivals maybe some of the best pizza places that I've been to. You can cook this in your backyard. Super easy to do. I can smell a little bit of the smokiness to it. Since this has been kind of blowing in my face, it kind of ruins my sense of smell a little bit, but I definitely can smell it on there. That was a good cheese pull too, by the way. There's pizza number 2. It's doing well. Don't see any bubbles yet on that, but we're getting some good darkness on the crust. This is a little bit of a thicker crust. We do have a few more ingredients in here, so this one may end up taking just a little bit longer. Okay, now it's time to take the second one off. And we're gonna turn that off. This is looking good as well. So let's take a look underneath here. Get my big glove off of there. Kind of feeling underneath to make sure that that feels like it's not doughy, but it does definitely feel like it's done. So we're gonna cut into this one. That first pizza, Mrs. BBQ Plus and I have been devouring it while we're waiting for the second one to go. And that was just really, really good. She is a pizza connoisseur and gave her thumbs up approval on it as well. She said, "You're not just saying that that's good. It is really good." Little camera shy is what she is. I see it already right here. It's the pizza pull. Okay, we're going to let that cool down just a little bit and dive into that one and see what that tastes like. Here's that second one. That was fantastic also. This has got quite a few ingredients, probably kind of tipping the point of being maximum. If you put too many ingredients on the top, it's going to have a hard time getting them cooked, and you're going to end up probably with a little bit of mushiness inside. So less is more on the ingredients. So first bite of this one, yeah, that's pretty fantastic also. Prosciutto, the mushrooms. I love me some black olives, that's good. You can see on the bottom here that this isn't like black, or it isn't like crusty. Some people like theirs extra crispy. You can do that just leaving it in a little bit longer, or maybe turn it up a little bit so that your pizza stone is hotter, because that's what's coming in contact with the bottom. But this is also fantastic. The prosciutto on there. I'd say absolute home run. I would recommend taking a look on Facebook Marketplace in your area. If you find somebody that has bought a pizza oven for the pellet grill that you have and they're not using it, make them an offer. Just like I did on this one. Pick it up. It actually sat in my garage for about a year before we decided to play with this thing. And this is only the second time we've used it. First time, didn't have enough cornmeal down underneath and it stuck all over the place. So got a bigger pizza peel before we were trying to use spatulas. That doesn't work. But use a good pizza peel. Make sure you have some cornmeal and flour underneath there so it doesn't stick. Make sure you get it up to temperature so that way it's going to cook through, and you're going to absolutely love it. This is a great thing to cook. You will not be disappointed. In the meantime, if you like what I'm cooking here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notifications. Give me a thumbs up. Share this with your friends. If you want to throw some comments in here and tell me what you cook in your backyard, whether it's pizza, I've got tons of things on my channel. So you want to go in and get some inspiration. All kinds of appetizers, main dishes, all kinds of stuff in there. Even some desserts. Bacon wrapped Oreos, thumbs up. And in the meantime, go figure out what you're going to cook in your backyard. And from Barbecue Plus, thanks for watching.